Hey everybody, welcome to the front yard tour in May here in my Zone 9B garden in Tampa Bay, Florida. I already did the backyard and the vegetable garden, and so now I figured I would come on here and show everyone what the front yard looks like this time of year. So like I said before, I'm doing this just every month just so I can kind of keep myself accountable, see where I'm doing well, what's not going well, where I want to make changes, and I can look back throughout the year and decide later. So let me turn the camera around and I will show you. We will start over here. This area is very low maintenance. This is what we call the hellscape between the sidewalk and the road. This is my portion of it. So here I have a native planting, quite a few different things. Mostly those taller ones are goldenrod. I cut them all back at the end of the year. That's how tall they are now. I have some blanket flower along the edges. It's doing really well. That is self-seeded, so that volunteered itself here. But I like how it spills over the sidewalk a little. It does get a little messy later on in the summer, so I do shear it back because I don't want it to get in the way of the sidewalk. And then there's bees that are on it, and obviously my neighbors, walk along the sidewalk, so I want to be courteous of that. This coneflower is going to bloom finally. So that has been there for 2 seasons now. And like I said, this is all goldenrod, blanket flower. This I think looks really pretty together, the blanket flower and the Florida green eyes. Here is a blue mist flower. The plant itself, for some reason, really struggled. Not really sure why, but it did. So I'm going to just collect the seeds and then rescatter them. I'll probably, as with everything else, I redid this section of my lawn in clover last year. I think now, looking back, clover is a good choice if you can get it wet enough and cool enough for it to establish. This is a very hot, dry, sandy area. So when it's cool enough, it doesn't rain enough. When it's raining enough, it's really hot. So I think clover is kind of challenging to establish in this area. It does look pretty good back there, but all these little things you see sticking up, that is all blue-eyed grass, so that's all doing well. I have some self-seeded blanket flower over here. My neighbor said she didn't mind that some of it came on her side, but that's okay. So I'm trying a new technique. I reseeded it with some annual grasses and clover mix that I did in my backyard that looked really good. That is basically because I live in an HOA and I don't want to get dinged for the front lawn looking like this. This was basically all killed by leaves that didn't get raked up fast enough. So I'm going to let that fill in. I just seeded it yesterday to cover. And then my plan is to do more installations of things like frog fruit. And then those twin flowers that I have back there, those spread out pretty fast. So eventually those will spread into this area. But I think I might buy some more because I like how they're not that tall, but they do kind of just, work their way in wherever they're planted. And then they have pretty blue flowers. So back there is just not much to look at, just the twin flowers spreading out. And I have St. John's wort. I have a beautyberry here and another one on the other side of that. So not much has changed on this side. Clover, I don't know if it was a mistake. I mean, it did work, but it didn't work as well as I wanted it to. I do have some native pony's foot. I don't remember the scientific name, but that spreads itself in here as well. So as long as I keep this area quote unquote green, I think it'll appease the powers that be in my neighborhood. But I mean, there's our common areas don't even look this good. So, but coming back over here, let's see. Oh, what else do I have in here? Oh, this is my native passion flower vine. It's a corky stem passion flower vine. There's some piney woods drop seed, some dwarf fakahatchee, and then there is some rosemary and sage that are dappled in there as well. So that's a look at this side. Major work in progress here. Working on it. Don't judge. Over here, this bed I'm really proud of because it was my first like native installation in my front yard, and like I said, it's also in the housecape, and I do nothing to this bed other than pull out some weeds that, you know, seed themselves along the edge where the mulch is thinner. But it's got everything from dwarf fakahatchee grass, lyre leaf sage, which is still in bloom, wild coffee, which is in bloom, Carolina jasmine, goldenrod, another wild coffee. These caladiums were from years ago, so they just keep popping up. More goldenrod, but I mean, look how pretty this is. This is another fakahatchee grass, but just with the goldenrod, it looks so pretty. Somehow the goldenrod's still blooming now in May, but I don't mind it. I have a porterweed, more lyre leaf sage. It's just dappled in there. This is a big specimen of it. It's a big plant. Some coneflower. This is a pretty little vista. It's got the corky stem passion flower vine and a beauty berry. The beauty berries in this bed I'm going to have to keep smaller. And then they volunteer themselves too, so I always have new ones to put other places. And then, but like, see, I have, those are loofahs that volunteered themselves somewhere. I opened up a loofah plant and the seeds got out here. But this bed has filled in quite remarkably since I put it together. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of when I first put the plants in here. The point of low maintenance gardening is to cover as much surface of the ground plane as you can with plants so you don't have as much maintenance. So I've let the leaves fall that created its own mulch. This is its second season and all the plants are still doing well, even with the oak tree leaves falling on it. Now here's another small coneflower. I think over here I'm going to extend this look to this bed because I really like it. And then this is not doing what I originally wanted. So I'm going to extend that flower bed just a little more natural looking of a shape rather than, excuse my neighbors blowing something, rather than so square. I'm going to like make it, curves. And then I'll leave the basil and whatnot for now, but I have coneflower in here that's going to start blooming as well, or it is blooming. But I have some perennial mums that were from last year. Those can stay for now, but I have goldenrod and then baby coneflowers. And then, yeah, so it's not as sunny as I wanted it to be for normal flowers, but for native plants, this is a really good spot. So I'm going to continue this look over here. So I'll have all sides of this, parts of the sidewalk will be, similar. Let's see, panning up here is my flatwood plum tree, doing really good. The grass on this side of the yard is actually surprisingly doing well. I don't care if my grass is perfect. I never will. I will never fertilize the grass just to do it. So, I mean, if it looks okay, it's fine. In this pot, that's my muhly grass. For some reason, they're slow growing, this one and the one over there, but it's fine. Here's a foodscape pot that I have. This is a pineapple ground cherry mixed with some sunflowers, and then inside this is a the Easter bonnet alyssum. It's getting pretty warm out. Oh, and in the back I have seeded some sorghum. So grains are really fun to work with. So that's cute. I think I'm gonna leave that there, but move this pot somewhere else. But that doesn't have a bottom, so it's hard to move. Coming over here, this bed, it was transformed to sunflowers and zinnias. I just started harvesting the leeks. I harvest the carrots often. So as I harvest the small carrots, the other ones will just be left to get bigger and eventually bloom. I'm going to leave some of them in there to go to seed. But the sunflowers are getting some nice size to them. Since last month, I don't think any of this was up. I did plant peanuts along the edges. Whatever's there is what the squirrels haven't eaten. The zinnias are starting to... I gotta pinch this one back. I found that I don't need to plant as many zinnias if I pinch their tops back, because they fill out super nicely. So I still have a border of leeks and onions and garlic mixed with the zinnias and sunflowers. All the cabbages are gone. Let's go on this side. More sunflowers, more zinnias. See here, I think I pinched some of them. I don't remember which ones, but I'll go ahead and pinch this one, and I'll leave that one for another day. Here's another peanut. This one is a volunteer peanut. Here's a peanut that I planted. You see? Isn't that pretty cool? Let's see. That's about it in this. It's all the same. So that's the native area from the front, the looking out, and my native flatwood plum tree. Soon to be native border there, and natives over there, and then on the other side. So I really, really love mixing native Florida plants in with my foodscape plants, because while I have to take care of some of this, I hardly have to do anything to that, and they all look so pretty. Coming over here, these are the viburnums, not doing anything this time of year. Got some volunteer blanket flowers. This is the other native, semi-native bed. Let's see. It's filling in really nicely. Oh my God, look. I have blooms on this. This was an inside plant. I forgot the name of it. But I popped it here because it's just, I know it's not native, but I love the flowers on these. And the leaves are just so pretty. And I put them inside at Valentine's Day every year, and I had this one left, so I just popped it here. If it spreads or I see it getting out of control, I'll just pull it. Oh, look, this is a whole loofah from last year. That's why I have seeds growing. These are native peperomia. That is a bird's nest fern my girls got me a couple years ago for Mother's Day. This is the native, sorry, I had to stop my camera. This is the native columbine, and I just recently had someone comment on one of my videos, and I think he lives in England, and they call them granny bonnets or granny hats, and I thought that was so cute. They're basically done blooming right this second, but I guess they really do look like that. Here is a volunteer sorghum. This is probably from birdseed. but that is what I have scattered in that foodscape bed. It gives a nice height to that area, and it looks really pretty, and the birds love eating the sorghum. These are 3 Cooley's water willows or 5, sorry, that are spreading out super nicely. Kind of show you. They're going to be a nice low ground cover. And then I have my oak leaf hydrangea. This is a rose that my grandma gave me. She has these all in her garden, so I love them. Oh, it's got lots of buds over here. It's gonna have lots of little blooms on it. There's some random tropical sage. There's yarrow dappled in here. There's another columbine. This looks like a nightshade. I'll pull that out. There's some sunflowers in here. Another beautyberry. There's a bunch of yarrow in here. There's some porterweed that I just transplanted. And then these things are just doing great. I actually had 3. I had 1, 2, 3, but they're filling out so well that I thought I would put one over here instead. It looks a little floppy because I just transplanted it yesterday, and the flowers are actually the flowers are kind of super, not heavy, but when they all flop in one direction, they get tangled. But it's all starting to go to seed, but it's still producing flowers, so I'm gonna enjoy that and let it spread around the garden. This is the Leavenworth tick seed, or Coreopsis leavenworthii, I think. There's of course more blanket flower that fills itself in. Yeah, so there's more porterweed. There's leeks in here. I'm gonna put some okra in this bed. This is a nice sunny spot, so this will be part of my foodscape bed. The coral honeysuckle. I have some cranberry hibiscus. I do use that in tea. Some black-eyed Susan starting to bloom, or get a bloom stalk. And then, like normal, blanket flower again. My sign. But this, like I said, I know this jasmine is not native, but it's just one of those southern staples to me. And maybe one day I'll change it, but for now, I love it, and I love the smell of it. Maybe I'll mix it in with something else, but I do have the honeysuckle there. And then I wanted to show you, if Mom is not in here. Oh, no, there she is. There's mockingbird babies inside this nest. The nest is like right in there, and they're so cute, but I don't want to mess with them because I want her to take care of them. So yeah, so this is about it. So it's been a really nice month. I'm hoping that it starts raining again pretty soon, because we desperately need it, and my garden would appreciate it. So yeah, I really appreciate everyone who actually is watching these videos. It does help me out. I mean, if you subscribe and follow me along, you'll see everything I'm doing. And it's just fun to talk about gardening with people that enjoy gardening, and sometimes that's on the internet. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day.